the workers in this office kind of dropped everything and started barricading stuff up here to like try to barricade away from whatever was killing them. I haven't really decided yet story-wise. I'm not the writer for this. But then, you know, it fell through the floor because these were too heavy, and then, you know, they just did it again down here. They kind of barricaded everything up. So I'm not going for a randomized physics effect. I'm kind of going for a, this was placed here by a human thing. Kind of. Yeah. Ooh. For the entirety of that, I was still on Blender. For that, I apologize.
Oh yeah, Matt. I just realized I probably should do that biology homework at some point.
Alright, I can get off the call with you if you need to.
Okay. Alright,
talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Alright, whoa, that just suddenly got louder. For those of you who don't know me, I am the king of like 2-hour Skype calls. Okay, back here. Latin. Ooh, okay, that's a bit strong. That is stronger than I want it, kinda. Come on, don't throw me in. Kind of just going for the roughed up corners, and I know this is work that probably should be done in ZBrush, but I'm like fairly certain that ZBrush costs money, and that's money I don't have. I don't know, honestly. What I really want to do is be doing like experimental technology stuff. That's my favorite thing to do. You know, like, for example, like making stuff like the Kinect. That kind of stuff is really fun to me. Or like making stuff like the Omni and the Oculus Rift. That combination is really fun to me, and I'd love to like play around with that. But game development is really fun too because it kind of incorporates all of the different areas of computing technology. Into just like one thing that you can work on, because a lot of the problems with the projects I tend to make is that it's like, oh well, you have 20 projects going on and they're all doing different things, and you know, you never end up finishing one of them. So this kind of helps me with that. Okay, that looks pretty terrible, but I'm like 90% sure it's going to look better in game because you're not actually going to be able to get close to this. Although, maybe, I don't know. Alright, I think that looks good. So I'm just going to take this, unwrap it, cube projection. I don't think that looks too bad. I think it actually does a pretty good job of unwrapping that. So, Demo Cube 2. Don't overwrite that, that would be bad. Then head back into Unity. Delete that. And add it back in. Demo Cube 2. There we go. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Went right in my vision for a second. I'm like, oh crap, that's big. I don't remember scaling that up. And again, the geometry looks really rough, but it's going to look much better when I put the texture on it. Which, actually, you know what? I'm going to do that right now. It's texture 15. There we go. See, that looks better-ish. My only worry about it is that it looks like it's repeating too much, but that's not too much of an issue. I can kind of fix that. Oh no, we lost a viewer. That's sad. And now I'm gonna have to invisible wall this all up just to make it look like you can't go there. I should probably also apply that texture to these walls since they're not supposed to be seen. By the way, just let me know if you want to like change the music or anything. I'll totally game for that. It has to be Monster Cat though, just because their licensing is a little bit more lenient on Twitch. You don't have to like pay for licensing, or if you're monetized, it's only like $15 a month or whatever. Oh, thanks E6. Thanks for watching, I guess. By the way, if it sounds like I'm just talking nonsense, I'm reading the chat, I'm answering your questions, so if you have one about the game or about what I'm working on or anything, go ahead and ask. Actually, you know what? Because it looks like you can jump that, and you shouldn't be able to. Alright, I think that looks good enough. I feel like it would be really good if we had some sort of dramatic light on this, but I don't know. I do really like how when you open up this hallway now, you can see more of the dramatic red lights in the background, even though they don't really get anything. Yeah, one thing I do need to fix though is these lights, because I'm using like the Gaussian blur just really is computationally taxing. Like if you look this way, you can notice my frame rate dip a little bit. Then I look this way and I get, you know, a solid 60 again. So I don't know. I don't think I can pre-blur the textures because then, you know, the perspective won't work on it. I don't know what I'll do. Yeah. I didn't know about the game development section on Twitch either. I was actually complaining about that for about 12 minutes, almost exactly 12 minutes, and I know because it's the length of a song I listened to. And then my friend Will was like, "Oh, you suggest it to Twitch," and I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So I'm poking around on their website, and I'm like, "Oh, it's already there." And so I just added it to it, and suddenly viewers happened. So that's good and all. So one of the other things I need to do, first of all, now that I have this up here, I'm going to invisible wall off this section because I do not want the player going in this direction. So we're just going to do that and then turn off the renderer. And same goes for this section. I'm just going to... There we go. Change that. Make it wide. Rotate it slightly, generally fit the geometry, and then turn off the mesh renderer. And then bam, now if you try to walk into it, you'll just stop here. It won't let you go any further, which is wonderful because we don't want the players breaking out of our game. It would be kind of bad. No problem with it. There's no mesh renderer there. Unity's like, oh, that object doesn't exist anymore. So you have to find it in the side panel, which, good luck. Alright, let's see, what should I work on next? Because basically, the stuff in this room that I really want to work on, like these chalkboards, for example, look really bad. I made them when I thought you were only going to see them through this window, where they kind of look okay. But if you go down here, it's really obvious there's nothing on them. So what I need to do is, when I get back into the lab, oh, when am I getting back into the lab? Because today is a snow day, tomorrow is a snow day. Maybe Thursday or Friday. I need to try to make some seamless textures for that when I have access to a nice big whiteboard, because you know, chalkboards die. Yeah. I'll try my hand at making seamless textures, which I am historically really pretty bad at. I don't know, maybe it'll work out. Ooh. Reminds me, while I'm down here, just have to paste that, move it over there. Man, I am noticing all sorts of stuff. There we go. So this is supposed to be a robotics lab. I also have to get in touch with the writers, because this area is supposed to be a key story point where whatever the apocalypse actually is in here, and you come in contact with like a dead version of that, so like zombies or robots or whatever it's going to be. And then you have to, you know, go through here and come through here, and then go through the lecture hall, which you can see up there. It's in the main thing. Ooh, that's what we need to fix. So yeah, I'm making like a base hallway, and then I'm basically blocking off bits of it, so you're taking effectively the longest route through it, which is a nice thing, and I don't have to model everything. So yeah, I have to get stuff on the tables in here. I have to model a computer to books. Actually, that's a good thing to start working on. I'll work on that. Alright, so I'm going to add in a cube. I guess I'll model this computer first. I'm just going to take this. Oh, don't do that. I'm just going to basically model his monitor. His computer is going to be a box. Just a tad lower. Let's see. What does an old CRT look like? It's smaller in the back, so that means it needs to be mounted close to the front. So if I select the back, no, if I select the back, it doesn't look that bad. No think. There we go, and then I can just indent this just ever so slightly. Okay. And there we go! Kinda terrible, but whatever, it works, computer monitor. You know what else I could do right here if I was feeling really fancy? Is, add in a very slight curve. Which I am feeling very fancy, so works out perfectly. Scale along the z-axis because I think it's slightly too round. Right, that doesn't look too bad. It is kind of rough though. Oh crap, yes, like something. Yes, I did. Okay. Oh, sorry by the way if you guys are asking questions. I wasn't paying attention to chat for a second there. I am doing a lot of stuff in the game, yes. Since it's a very small team that's working on the game, I'm pulling many hats. I'm modeling, texturing, level logic, level design, all that kind of stuff. I'm not doing the writing. I'm doing the voiceover, well, some of the voiceover, but I'm not doing the actual audio engineering for that. So I'm just speaking it. I'm not actually, you know, noise reduction and making it sound good. So yeah. Only if you... No, I'm not gonna model the insides. I'm not going that far. Sorry.